Um, Hi everyone. I have Abhimanyu Jakhar with me today, who's the founder of Jakhar Hospitality Private Limited, and it's a very inspiring journey which he's had, and I want everyone to know about his journey because it's truly inspiring. Where he started work at a very young age, and welcome Abhimanyu. It's so good to have you with me today, and I would like to you to share some light on your personal early life days and as an entrepreneur and how you got into the hospitality industry. Over to you.
Hi, Sid. How are you? Thank you so much for having me here. So, like you said, of course, like the journey started out very young, and I still believe, it was something that was meant to be. It was long ago when I was like in my 10th grade when, you pick up two fields basically, like what you want to do in your life and everything. So, not knowing much, I was like every other North Indian family, I was given two choices. One was engineering and one was medical. Now the point was my sister is already a doctor and she was pursuing her medical studies, and my dad had this kid who he was very proud of, and he was kind of suggesting me to become a doctor itself. But the point was, I explained him I am so scared of blood that I don't think I'll be able to become a doctor. That was my thinking back then, and like any other kid, I just pursued engineering. I pursued engineering basically because I didn't want to become a doctor. I didn't had that exposure basically too much that what do I do if not this, and I just went with the flow. And cut to I gave my IT exam. I didn't do well. I just scored 64 marks in the exam, which was miserable for me. And I was not that bad of a student, honestly, but it just happened that way. And I got into my college and everything. I pursued mechanical engineering in my education background. And that was the time, when I got hit by a lot of things in my life where I just didn't feel so much good about myself. I wasn't very happy with the things I'm doing, and I always thought there's more to me. I'm not very much happy with the position I am in right now. So that that triggered a fight inside me that I wanted to do something, and always I have been an ambitious person. I never had like dreams which were very basic. Although my dad had this dream very clearly that you crack your engineering, you do an Ivy League MBA, and you're all set. Whether you stay in the US, you come back, it's on to you. But he had his plan ready. I had different plans. So in the first year of engineering only I realized that भाई ये तो मेरे लिए नहीं है. This is not something I really love. Although I did decent in my studies in engineering, also I scored a 9.6 CGPA in the entire curriculum, which is I guess not bad at all. And but still, it was not my passion that was making me happy. Like somewhere I was just believing in myself that I can do so much better in my life. I wanted to do things. And that was the startup era as well. You saw people going out there, you see Flipkart, Amazon, name it, and people who were just solving problems. For me also, like that time, it was very inspiring. Actually, the term entrepreneurship was something that I heard for the first time in the college seminar. I didn't know this word existed, very honestly speaking. But that was the time I just heard of it, and everything was intriguing. And before even knowing the word, I wanted to do something on my own. So I was exploring options. Basically, few of the startups that did not kick up or anything happened was first was furniture renting, which I started with my friend only. We realized there are so many college students who are coming, from all over the country in this, and everybody is like not interested in going in a hostel. They will go for PGs, they'll go for flats and everything. And when you're there for 6 months or for just 4 years, you don't want to invest on your furniture. And that is where we came across, the renting of furniture on a very local scale, not a global scale. And of course, that gave me a kick and everything, but wasn't something that I genuinely wanted to do again. Right. Then it was something like, my dad comes from an Indian Navy background, and whatever savings he had, he purchased a small bit of land on the National Highway 8, connecting Delhi to Rohtak basically. Rohtak is the industrial town of Delhi NCR. So you have all the MNCs there, name it, like Asian Paints, you have Tata, you have Maruti Suzuki, anything. But that was the time, when I was there, and I just realized this beautiful property, which had so much commercial potential, was given by my father because he just wanted the property to be saved to one of the relatives for 2,500 rupees a month rent to store his bricks, the construction bricks basically. And that is where, it just triggered me, and I got in the mindset where I just realized that this land can do so much better. And as an entrepreneur, I have always believed you solve an equation. So by equation, I mean that, you provide a solution to a problem. You didn't have access to cabs. There was a app made by the name of Ola, and now you have cabs everywhere. That is how entrepreneurship works for me. Like that's my mindset. So I just realized a huge potential and gap here, where people from Rohtak, where their companies are traveling back to Delhi and Gurgaon just to stay there. They don't have access to the commercial possibilities of conference halls and everything. They don't have those spaces only because there's no good accommodation or any hotel that's providing these kind of things. And that is where I realized, looking at the location, I saw an opportunity, I saw a problem, I bridged the gap, I created a solution. And that was basically my first exposure to hospitality also, and also my life's first established business.
Okay.
But coming to this business, and from a zone where I have no education background in hospitality, I have no education in business itself because I'm pursuing engineering and I'm just like 18 years old. I had no idea what I'm doing most of the times, and I just enter into this where I don't know most of the things. Things didn't work out in my favor. It went ballistic, it went into like completely downfall, and Interurban became a disaster. Just 1 week after launching, I had nothing. I started with 8 rooms, one reception that was shared with a restaurant, and one banquet, and that's it. Like, this was the setup that we started with on a very small scale. We invested in the interiors, of course, in the manner that was needed by the clients, but we didn't invest on the basic infrastructure because we didn't have that capital out there. So after having invested whatever you had and things not working out in your favor, that gave me the scare of my life. So I kind of made a reason and I came back to Bombay, and I lived with my family, saying that I needed a break and everything. And I just like, honestly, I was just hiding from the problems that were there because I was not ready to face. I got very scared. And during that time, again, like when I was resting it out and I was spacing out, I just realized one day sitting in the balcony of my house, and I just realized that, that this is now or never. This is what I chose. This is where I went. I left everything for this, and I've given it to my all. So it's up to me. Do I want to fight or not? If I put a fight, I win. Otherwise, short, I'm gonna lose. For me, it was like the only way. There's no surety that I'm gonna win, but the only way that I can at least make sure that I put everything. To 3 months of this hard work, when I'm just like doing everything with my team and me, putting in the best efforts, we cracked the first profit of Interban, which was at just 25,000 rupees. Wow. It's not a huge amount. It's nothing of a great
But still,
amount.
it gives you motivation, right?
Exactly. And that kick was enough to give me that, bro, you can do this.
Yeah.
This. It's gonna take time for sure. It's not gonna happen like they show you in the movie that one night sleeping and the next day you have three bungalows at a early sea phase. But I was sure that I think I can do this. I've got this. And that is what happens with the entrepreneur. I'm sure you must relate with it. There are days there where we feel that everything is in control. We got this. And there are days that we question that, bhai kar kya rahe? What's happening here?
But you won't believe it, yeah. Abhimanyu, in today's generation, I see they're like fearless. They're like they don't mind taking that extra risk. Not like earlier generations what we've grown up to. People are wanting. They're more ambitious. They want to try different things and make a difference to the society, and obviously give something new to the consumers in today's time. That is the main thing. Unless you are not unique, you don't have a different concept. Today even the consumers are very smart. They also want to go and experience a place where there's always something new to offer. So it's really nice. But I know everything looks nice from the outside. But would you like to tell us from the back end how difficult, or what are the challenges you face, and how you often overcome them, and with your positive attitude, what are the steps you always make sure that you can tackle those problems? So basically, with Interurban only continuing the story after this, it was not the end of it because we just started cracking the first profit and we started learning. GST was also a term that I was explained for the first time how the commercial aspect happens. You don't get this teachings in school, unfortunately. Right. But I just am so strongly connected with this that you have to teach people this. This is your life. Of course, the taxes are important, integral part of your life. You don't have to, Google it. It should be in your curriculum. This is your basic living in any other country. Like, it's just not India. But I had no education on that also. So learning from the its and bits, from ABCD to the Z part was insanely difficult. But taking a risk, yes, of course, like, when you're at young age, I do believe this. When I was at that age, the risk factors that I could take were very much different because, also there were no
much of responsibilities. Your brain is not that developed at that moment to understand things that are 10 years down the line. And slowly and steadily, you understand the different kind of responsibilities you have in your life. But that time is just fearless, because I still remember myself and I just love myself that day. Because, 18-year-old kids thinking of opening a hotel with no idea was a crazy idea. But again, like as an entrepreneur, what you jump the cliff first and build your wings on your way. That's how it works. You cannot bring everything on paper. Even how efficient you are, it doesn't happen like that. Let me cut to the chase. You have to take the leap of faith and you have to believe in yourself. And if you do believe in yourself, you will win for sure. And that is how things happen with me also. Just one second, I'm just connecting this.
So what Abhimanyu, what you're really saying is truly bang on, because I think you need to take calculated risks where that people in the younger generation also can learn, like if they follow a passion, and if they think, if their heart tells them that you should try it and you're passionate about something, there's no harm trying it. And see, there's no mantra to success, but unless you try, you never know what's going to happen. So it's important to follow your dreams and passion. And I think that just like you, the way you have followed your dreams and your passion, you are so suddenly expanding into so many other outlets under your new company which you formed. So we're going to even now talk a little bit on that. So can you share some light on Jakhar Hospitality Private Limited, under which you're launching your other six brands?
Of course, like, after Interurban, there has been no looking back. In 2 to 3 years, with our hard work, we were able to expand that hospitality business as an individual entity into almost double. Today, we have 16 keys. We started from 8 keys. Today, we have 2 banquet halls, 1 conference room, 1 reception, and all in 3 years, which for me wasn't I look at it as a very successful venture looking at the expansion we have been able to, because I got a gist of it and a holding. And I really developed the passion for hospitality. Of course, my other profession is shipbuilding, where I formed a company before COVID and I started venturing into it, and I've been working building ships across the country and also now with international shipyards. But then came a time where before COVID, I got an exposure again building a brand, Diablo, uh, which was again a leap of faith. Like you said, that you have to take those risks. It doesn't happen. There is only one thing that is common between anybody who has ever made it on a small scale, large scale, mid scale, and that is they refuse to give up. They had so much belief in themselves when everything was against them, and that is the most important part. You have to believe in yourself when nobody believes in you, and that is what defines you as a person. There are days where you don't feel like it, but what you do on those days counts the most, like the most in your life. And that is what I've always believed in. And before COVID also, like, people called me crazy, people called me mad. Even my own family was like, who's getting into this? You don't know how unpredictable the future is and what's happening. For me, it was like, this is the right time to grab the market, because the market is fragile, the market is volatile. And I've always thought, getting inspired from Interurban, that I wanted to enter into this industry through restaurants and everything. And it all started like with a very short story. Long back, I was again not very much educated how much it cost to construct a restaurant in Bombay. So me again, like this 19, 20-year-old kid, thought you have 1 CR, you'll be sorted to construct a restaurant. I didn't realize that doesn't even cover the security deposit in Bombay for a good restaurant. So I went to a consultant where he helped that, bro, I have this much capital, this much I'll arrange through loan, and let's get this done. He said, sir, it's not possible. It can't happen only. I got a heartbreak. So driving always eases me. So I was in my car driving through town, this Worli area where I now live, and I went through this iconic restaurant which I won't name, but I saw this restaurant, and said you just manifest something. You look at that place and you're like, मेरा भी ऐसा होना चाहिए, मेरे लिए भी कुछ ऐसा होना चाहिए someday, कि ऐसा होगा. And cut to when I was building my brand and everything and looking for a place, I hear that this restaurant is going out of business. And when I heard that it's going out of business, for me it was a God sign, because I manifested it. I always wanted that place. I looked at that place and I was so happy about it. I was just sure this is where we want to do it. And we started Diablo. And Diablo again, like when we started, and 1.5 months later, after first wave, the second wave was even lethal. It was cruel to everybody. They were like, it was just pathetic. And that is the time when, after starting 1.5 months, Diablo didn't even get the breathing space to get launched or to be access to public. And it just happened in a miserable manner. But we didn't give up. We continued. And then Diablo had its own charm and it will just continue very well. And that just motivated me even more to get more deep into this industry. And I understood this industry in different perspectives.
Right.
Now, with JHPL, is something that is my basic DNA in business. My DNA in business is not to just do an average thing. If I enter an industry set, my idea is to capture it for good, create the dent that I can create, and that is all about it. With JHPL, we want to change the industry once and for all. We might sound a bit bullish or borderline arrogant, but we are not. Me and the company are very focused because we know what we are doing. We know where the industry lacks. We know the challenges. We know what the consumer wants, and we understand the problem again, and we know the solution. So again, coming back to the basic equation of entrepreneurship, you have to know the problem. You need to solve it. Create the gap. The
Right.
gap is built by that bridge, and that bridge is basically JHPL, what the consumers want and everything that has happened. It is not another commercial company where we intend to create bars, restaurants, and everything. Every product of ours has a soul. Every product of ours has a reason why it's been planted where it is. It
Right.
is a story that we are giving you. It is an experience that we are giving you. More than hospitality, more than a restaurant or a hotel company, this is all about an experiential company.
Yeah,
Like,
which you're saying is totally correct, because now nowadays people want a different experience. They want a different concept, then only it excites them to get out of the house, make that effort to get ready and to go and try something new. Otherwise, it becomes pretty monotonous. So unless we don't change with times, we don't evolve with times, and you know how fast the time is running. So, we need to always be at the same pace. So it's really kudos
of
to you
course,
that you have really thought about this, and you are actually making an effort to change the entire game, what it's happening, in our generation now. So, first of all, kudos to you for that.
thank you.
And yeah, so now one more thing I want to ask you. So, you have like six brands as we were talking under GHPL, which you're launching. So, do you want to mention some of them for when are those brands coming up in Bombay? Or
Of
any
course,
other?
like, we would love to do that on your platform. This is the first time I'm officially speaking on this matter.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's just that, I have been
You
shying
can
away.
spill some secrets. It's okay.
Yeah. So we'll spill some secrets for you today, and we'll use this because just like I feel very comfortable sharing this today.
Right.
Uh, Basically, I'll talk about the first brand.
Yeah.
Of course, we are coming with more than six brands, and things are happening very fast. We have took our time of 2 years of R&D to build these things and coming on together.
Okay.
But Sid, as a person, if I may ask you before releasing anything,
Yeah.
when you step out, basically
Yeah.
you step out for two reasons. Correct me wherever I'm wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
First will be that you will step out when you want a particular cuisine to eat. Like you'll go for
Yeah.
Indian, you'll go for Pan Asian, you'll go
Yeah.
for anything that you're specific
Yeah.
on. The other part is you'll just go with your friends where there's the good vibe. You want to have
Yeah.
drink, you want to party or whatever it is. But what if I tell you that this is a brand that is so progressive that we don't even have a cuisine to ourselves?
Oh,
We
that is
are
something.
at our cuisine. If Sid asks me tomorrow that, brother, what are you opening? What cuisine is it? I literally have no answer, but I have an answer better than that. That is, we are a cooking technique centric restaurant. That is where we change the perspective of hospitality once and for all. Today, restaurants are only categorized by restaurant bar. First equation. Second equation, it's a Pan Asian restaurant, it's an Indian restaurant, it's this.
Right. Right.
It is time to evaluate food in another altered direction. And that direction is when you talk about the cooking techniques. So this is the biggest thing that I can spill over this brand, which we are building. This is my dream project, and this is a brand which takes on the industry to change the perspective and understanding of people altogether. And this is very confidently speaking because I've seen the product myself. It is the most progressive restaurant this country has ever seen.
Okay.
That is the first one. And followed by that, we have some very exciting brands following up. And
Okay.
it's a portfolio that we are building that tomorrow Sid or anybody else in the country steps out. They just know there's one company that you rely on and you have all the categories installed already.
I'm truly looking forward to visiting all the outlets which you are creating. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. Okay, so tell me something now. If I had to describe Abhimanyu in one word, or like something which you would describe, like what would that one word be if you have to describe yourself, and why would you describe it that way?
Overly ambitious?
Overly ambitious. Okay.
Absolutely. With my nani says this, she calls me Manu by the way, like my nickname is that. So she always says कि इस लड़के के साथ एक ही दिक्कत है, जब इसको एक मिलेगा तो इसको दो चाहिए, इसको दो मिलेगा तो इसको तीन चाहिए, इसके पास शांति के अलावा सब है। वो बैठ के मुझे यही देखती है, बोलती है मेरा यही टेंशन है कि इसको मिलेगा सब कुछ पर ये कभी शांत नहीं रहेगा। And for me, my ambitions have no limit. I from a background where I had nothing. Today I have something, but someday yes, I'll have everything. I'm sure
But
about it.
But I'm happy you're saying that in your work front. I hope that message doesn't go when you're married.
Absolutely. That would be very bad, but absolutely not sure of it. It's just with work, it's like, life has given me this opportunity to live, and God has given me certain talents and gifts which I want to utilize to the most. And Sid, honestly speaking, when I started very young, like any other boy, I also had those dreams of having, like, basically, you want money, you want respect, you want everything that's there out there. You want glamour, of course. Everybody wants those
Yeah.
things. But today it's not about that. In this journey, very soon I realized that, the people that are working with me today, like there are 300, 350 different families, 300, 350 different people who are directly, indirectly influenced by the work we are putting in. They have better healthcare, they have better health facilities, they can take better care of their families, their dreams are coming true just because of something that we have created.
Yeah.
The other day, it was a very emotional sentiment for me. I was busy with my work completely in my office, and this guy comes up, which honestly I know that he works with me and everything, and he comes with a sweet box, and he's like, sir, he is basically a vendor for us in our restaurants, and he comes to me and he's like, sir, can I come in? So of course I invited him, and he just brings this Shadika card and this, and he's like, sir, because of the 1.5 year steady business that you guys gave me, today I'm able to marry my daughter in a very good household. And that just touched me, sir. Like, I'm able to do something for somebody. That just amazed me. And today, when I get up, I don't have a responsibility of 4, 5 people that are my family. It is a responsibility of these 350 people that if I fuck up today, I'm fucking their life also. So it's an added responsibility, and that's how I want to go with. I want to influence people. And at the end of the day, no matter what, just by breathing, you're going to be making a difference in this world. Trust me, you do, just by existing. So if you're already creating a difference, why not create a difference in this world that actually helps and benefits people?
True. True. So
Yeah.
now tell me one thing, no, Abhimanyu, if I have to ask you quick questions a little bit. So, other than your restaurants, what are the first three restaurants you would like to, go to or having a good meal?
Uh, in Bombay or around the world?
Anywhere around the world.
My first will be, the absolute stunner of a restaurant is Koya. That restaurant kind of changed my life altogether. I love it. It's in Dubai, it's in Mykonos, it's across the world, it's in Abu Dhabi, and they have done a fabulous job. They know what they're doing, they know where they're playing, and I just absolutely love them in that thing. The second restaurant that I will go with is actually Sushi Samba. It's again a restaurant that, clubs the casual vibe of a bar to a very hardcore produced restaurant, which again produces you into an aspect where you just, like come across as something of a very different angle. And the third one, which I would say, will be Arfali Bros. So Arfali Bros is another, a restaurant, a small restaurant started in Dubai by three brothers. They took over the European food. You have had sliders in your life, of course, but you have sliders there. You'll understand they have actually changed the game altogether. Again, they know what they are doing and what they are getting involved in, and the palette they are using. And you sometimes look at the food and you just think that it is simple, but why didn't anybody think of it? And that is what they have done there. And it's a Michelin star restaurant and fabulously done job.
And then the top three cuisines you go to always?
First will be Pan Asian.
Okay.
I don't know, Ghar Ka Khana is a cuisine, otherwise that would be the first one for sure. But first is Pan Asian. Second, I'll go with Indian. Third is Italian.
Okay, lovely.
I really love.
Okay.
I think Italian and Peruvian can tie for me. I love both.
Okay, now tell me something that there are a lot of youngsters, who come to me also. They ask advice. And I'm not an expert in the F&B industry, so I don't have much to tell them. But like today, if you wanna give an advice to all the younger generations, the Gen Zs of today, who want to open a restaurant, like they see everything as we had discussed earlier. Everything looks good from the outside, but the hard work you need to put on, the months and years of planning behind every brand which you make, it's not that simple. So if you have to give a certain message to the Gen Zs of today, what would it be? Because I tell them, like, it's just not for them to coming on the map, but you need to really do a lot of R&D behind anything you start, I feel. So if you had to give a good, strong message from the industry itself, what would you say?
See, you said it very right. It looks very glamorous and very posh from the outside, and it's very cool to have a restaurant and own this restaurant, do this and that. But it's actually not that easy. You have no idea the kind of difficulties you face in this industry. This
Right.
industry has not been exposed much from the interior to people, so they think that it's just another cool industry. But the
Yeah.
coolness comes at a cost, and the cost is huge. This industry has so many difficulties. It's so unstructured that you never know what's gonna hit you. First of all, it's a liability centric industry. So if tomorrow, like there was a time, said if you remember, where in Bombay or any other city like Bombay, 1 out of 3 people wanted to become an actor, right?
Yeah.
Today it's like this. Every third person in the country wants to own a cafe, restaurant, or an eatery.
Right. Exactly.
That is where the industry is coming from. But if your aspirations and expectation from the industry, if your dream is to, for the glamour, for the cool thing, cool factor, just don't get into this, because you never know like what's gonna hit you, and you are not ready for that. But if
Right.
it's your passion, this is the industry to be. This industry demands passion right now. People like us are going to structure it, who
Right.
come, innovate, execute. So the demand is huge, the market is right, and everything is good. But be prepared for the worst also. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it for sure. That I can guarantee you. But if you are factor it to the factors like cool and everything, just don't waste your time, because you'll end up losing everything that you have. But if it's your passion, don't let anybody stop you. Go for the kill and make something happen. This industry requires people like this.
Lovely, lovely. What a message to everyone, as Abhimanyu rightly said, it's all about passion in terms of today. That if you're really passionate about something, then only go for it and just not go and hear things and, do things what others say. It's just follow your heart and your dreams. And if you think, as Abhimanyu also manifested that he was so passionate that he manifested and he wanted to open his own brand, and now he's successfully going to be opening soon. Uh, the same thing I would suggest you as well. When you're hearing such a nice advice from one of the experts in the industry now. So thank you so much, Abhimanyu. It's such a lovely time to have this candid chat with you. You have really also inspired me. Because now I feel that when I'm working also at the office, I think I'm working less, uh, and as now compared to you. So yeah, definitely. There's so many things which is so inspiring, which you said today. And thanks again to your entire team who's really helped organize this candid chat with you, to connecting dots, to the entire people, to Shrishti and everyone who's helped in arranging this meeting with you. So thank you so much. I really, really look forward now in coming to Bombay to come meet you personally and have at least a nice drink with you, and see you soon. Yeah.
We'll be
So
looking forward for that. And thank you so much, Sid, for this platform and making me so comfortable on this, and having me here means a lot to me. And when we come to Bombay, we will be very, very excited to show you around the things we are doing. And of course, the drink goes without saying that we are banking on the not just one drink, but I think like it's going to be a heavy night for you. So
and
just
I'm going to be a little bit greedy because I want you to come to Cal. So I'm looking forward for you opening your brands in Calcutta soon. Because as I told you, Calcutta is also a very growing market right now when it comes to F&B. And
and let's mark
it,
this day. Maybe you manifested this for me. And next time I come to Calcutta, let's mark this day, Shrishti. That will just mark it. That's it. Manifested that for us. The entire GHP are coming to Kolkata.
so yeah, so really look forward to meeting you and the entire team in Calcutta soon as well.
We
So
would.
thanks again, guys, and thank you so much,
Thank
Abhimanyu. And we'll be in touch, and I'll see you once I'm in Bombay. Bro.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Please take
Okay.
care. Thank you. Bye.